Okay, so this will be interesting. I'm talking with my new friend, Vesna Palaversa. Do I have that right?
Yes, you did very well, Larry.
Who's not in Italy right now. She lives in Croatia, but her husband is Italian, right?
By origin, far.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So Vesna and I came together. She made some, I thought, very insightful comments on Facebook. And I thought this would be an interesting person to meet. And so we met and we just had a nice conversation. And Vesna, it's great to have you on. Give us some of your history with stuttering. What's your little background, if you would?
Thank you, Larry. I have started stuttering at the age of 2, very early. And I stuttered all through my life until about some 14 years ago when things started to change. I was a severe stutterer, and at the time it affected my life in a great deal, because I chose a school that I didn't like very much, but I thought that it was the only possible thing that I could do with my stutter. But it turned out to be good.
So let me just interrupt there, because that was interesting, because I kind of did the same thing with my life. So you chose a school, you chose an occupation that you didn't think you'd have to talk much?
Yes.
I did the same thing and it turned out horribly. Anyways, keep going, very interesting, because I'm going to get back to this with you. Okay, keep going.
Okay. I chose a school that I didn't like, but I thought that I could find a job with my stutter, and I ended up working as a manager, which was completely unexpected for me, because working as a manager with a stutter, it always implies that you either lie or it's a sign of weakness. So it's not a very good combination, but people got used to my stutter, and I had a good thing going, because I was much more fluent in English, and a lot of my business conversation was in English. And I talked much better talking with strangers. So that
Why
was...
do you think that is?
I don't know. I think that it's because when I talk to strangers, they don't know that I have a problem, and yeah,
I
and
felt the
they
same
don't.
comfort. That's why I asked.
Yes, they don't
At
expect
first,
me to stutter. Yeah.
at first,
So yeah, so that was the same thing with English. I think that it was that psychological thing in the background, because I have a lot of bad experience in Croatian language, but in English I don't. So it was much easier for me to talk in English and to talk to strangers who don't expect me to stutter. I think that it was that, because at the moment the person finds out that I stutter, I would stutter severely. It
yeah,
would.
me too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. That's
Same
the
thing.
same.
Cat's
Yeah.
out of the bag. Let's just go. Yeah.
Yes, that's right.
But you had an experience that really helped you. That's unusual, that I could never do, in terms of accepting your stutter. Why don't you tell us about that?
Yes, when I started my transformation, let's call it that way, and I opened up to people and started talking about it, slowly I began to accept it. And as I began to accept it, my stutter and myself with the stutter, somehow my speech became much more fluent. And today I am really grateful for my stutter, because it has made me a person who I am today. It takes a great deal of strength to live with a stutter, and to find a job, and to find friends, and to find a husband or a wife, and to live a normal life with a stutter. And afterwards, when I overcame and became much more fluent, that stutter also shows my strength, because I was able to do it. Also, it made me much better listener, and I have much more understanding and empathy for people who are different. So today I have begun my education for psychotherapy, and actually I am at the end of my education, and I think that I have found a perfect profession for myself.
That's
Listening to
fantastic.
other people, yes.
What kind of clients are you hoping to have with psychotherapy? Young, old, what kind of niche?
I don't care about the age. I would like to work with people who stutter, because I know from my experience what are the weak spots. And I would also very much like to work with the parents of the children who stutter, since I have a child that stutters, and I know how difficult that can be. So I would like really, really very much to help people with stutter.
So talking to people who stutter, which we are right now, hopefully, what would you want them to know?
I would want them to know that they can build their confidence and their self-esteem, which we all lack, that they can be able to put up their personal boundaries. Personal boundaries are extremely important, and they are very difficult for us who started to set, because we cannot talk. And I would like them to know that all those feelings that they have, a great deal of shame, which we all have because of our stutter, and the fear, and the guilt and anxiety that always rise up when we talk, and anger that we all have, which is bottled down in us, that all those feelings are completely normal, and it is okay to let them out, and it will be better. This is what I would like to tell them, and this is what I would like to help people with.
So you felt when you accepted your stutter that just led to better speech on your part.
Yes.
Why do you think that was?
I think that accepting my speech and myself with that speech led me to love myself more. And loving myself more meant more confidence. And I took small steps, not big steps. I started by talking to people around my child and around myself, and then with the people that I considered authority, which is also a very difficult thing for me. I have a huge fear of authority and people who represent authority. So I think that it led me to a place where I felt much more confident about myself. And that confidence helped me get more fluent, and more fluently, and that being more fluent helped me get more confidence. And I think that is the circle that is important to come into.
It builds on each other, right?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. So when you're one area that we were talking about was helping parents of children who stutter. And we don't have
Yes.
that much time, but I think it would be really great for you to share some initial thoughts. I can picture us doing a whole other video on that. I think that'd be a lot of fun. So
Yeah, I think so too, yes.
you've obviously given this a lot of thought. What would you like to tell parents?
Yes. As a person who has a child with a stutter, I would like to, it is a very difficult situation for a parent when a child starts stuttering. And my child was lucky because I knew something about stuttering and I knew what I wanted to do. And I didn't want him to be aware of his stutter too soon. And we didn't go to therapy. But I made sure that my son has a safe place, meaning that everybody around him knew how to communicate with him because I talked to them, to all of them. And also a very important thing is for parents to find a way to control their fear. And a huge fear rises when a child begins to stutter, and their shame and guilt, because this is what I felt, that I gave a stutter to my child, to the most precious thing in my life. And all of those feelings are important for parents to control, because all of that transfers to their child and affects his or her speech.
No
This
question.
is what I want them to know. Yes.
Yeah, you know, I can't imagine what my parents went through. I think it was very difficult for them. Very difficult.
Yeah,
so, last question. When we were talking, you said you want to give people hope. What would you like to say about that?
Yes. I think that it's important for people to have hope, and I am the evidence that it's possible. It's possible to speak fluently, and it's possible to accept stutter and yourself with a stutter. And I think that it makes everything much more easier. And we can do everything. There is not a thing on this world that we cannot do with our stutter.
Beautiful. That is really important. That's what led me to actually do all this stuff, because I compromised my life so terribly. And it took me a long time to get past that. You got through it much earlier, but I just love how you've accepted your stutter, and at the same time that has helped you improve your speech and become a better communicator. And now you're going into the business of communicating with people, helping them with their challenges. So it's beautiful. Vesna, you're terrific. I just love talking with you. We're going to have to do this again, okay?
Yeah, I would love that very much. Thank you, Larry.
Just a pleasure. Just a pleasure. See you soon.
Yes, thank you. Bye-bye, Larry.